this is wrong.
There's a bomb on a bus. If it drops below 50, it blows up.
If I am asked, what are the most memorable action movies? Without a doubt I would call Speed as one of them. I don't think I need to be hyperbolic to say that this film by Jan de Bont is a perfect action film. A city bus full of passengers is threatened by a bomb that is ready to explode. The situation is very difficult and dilemmatic. The bomb will ignite once the bus goes above 50 miles per hour, and if the bus reduces speed below 50 miles per hour, it will explode. A simple but brilliant film premise. With this premise, de Bont succeeded in making Speed a very riveting action film, intense and suspenseful from beginning to end. The story itself doesn't actually start with a bus, but it starts with a bomb. A mysterious bomb expert maniac terrorist, played by Dennis Hopper, holds up an elevator containing passengers. He wants a ransom of $3 million. If the money is not given, he will blow up the elevator and kill everyone inside. Two members of the NYPD SWAT Team, Jack Traven, played by Keanu Reeves, and his partner, Harry Temple, played by Jeff Daniels, take part in the task of handling the hostage act. Traven, who is brave, quick-thinking, and risk-taking, manages to rescue the hostages. The hostage-taking action itself ended with the perpetrator blowing himself up. When the two NYPD cops have just received an award for their achievements, the terrorist suddenly appears again, putting Jack in a more difficult and complicated situation. This is the terrorist's revenge scheme. He has hijacked a bus remotely. With his skill, he creates a situation that threatens the lives of all passengers on the bus by installing a bomb, with the threat that the bomb will explode if the bus goes below speed 50 miles per hour. There must be no evacuation, or he will immediately blow up the bus. He tells Jack that he still wants the ransom money. Speed is clearly a film that presents action scenes as its main menu, but Speed is not an ordinary action film. This is a perfect action film. Speed is a typical non-stop action film that gets our adrenaline pumping. A completely original idea, but easy to follow, taking the audience on a fun journey. This film is driven by fast-paced energy, keeps us in suspense all the time, and feels the fun experience of following the journey non-stop. Talking about the actors, Keanu Reeves' performance is very impressive, playing Jack Craven, a brave policeman, a charming good-hearted hero, a hero worthy of cheering. Keanu looks so great in this film, he really shows his film star personality. Even though he is now praised for his role as John Wick, it feels like people have ignored the fact that Keanu was already an action film icon in the 90s, and in Speed he really shows his class as an action film star. And Sandra Bullock, Her role may seem trivial as Annie, a woman who is at the wrong time and in the wrong place, so she gets into a tense situation on the bus and is then forced to take over the wheel of the bus, taking her along on a never-ending tense journey. Without Bullock's presence, the continuous scene on the bus will probably be very boring. Her chemistry with Keanu Reeves is very good. How, as Annie, she interacts with Jack Craven, who is cool and tends to be quiet, until finally special feelings arise between the two of them. A cliché, like in 90s American movies, the good man finally got his woman. There are some dialogues that seem cheesy, but come on, this is part of the charm of this old movie. Oh yes, don't forget Dennis Hopper's appearance. He really shows his acting skills, playing the antagonist in this film. His appearance, which seems uncertain, and his strong desire to create chaos, reminds us a little of Heath Ledger's appearance as the Joker in Dark Knight. Basically, this film is divided into 3 different modes of transportation, all referring to the motif of speed. The first is the incident in the elevator, the second, and this is the longest, focuses on the bus, and the third is the tension in the subway. Every time this mode of transportation changes, there is a change in speed increase in the process, and that is a clever thing.
I know you want a shitload of money, you do.
Nothing tricky now. You know that I'm on top.
Audiences may want to see the bomb on the bus explode, but don't want to see tragedy happen during the explosion. Devant understood and fulfilled that desire. The bus does explode. However, the passengers have already exited and survived. Jack and Annie also manage to get out of the bus moments before the bus explodes. The two of them get out through the bottom panel of the bus. Then the iron panel cover slides and takes the two of them away as the sun begins to set. This is a dramatic and romantic scene, as well as a spectacular closing act. The tension in Speed is even more enjoyable, with the support of Mark Mancina's energetic and evocative score. Once again, I don't need to be hyperbolic to say, Speed is one of the greatest action films ever made. The action scenes are stunning and awe-inspiring, and it proves that practical effects always trump CGI. This film seems to set a higher standard for action movies after it. Speed was successful, commercially and critically, and won 2 Academy Awards, a brilliant debut for Jan de Bont as a director. There are indeed logical weaknesses in several scenes, such as when Jack Craven tries to defuse the bomb by going under the bus using a towed sled, something that I think any police officer would think 1,000 times about doing. There is also a scene where the bus is forced to pass through a gap in the road which is said to be around 50 feet long. Jack Craven asks Annie to increase the speed of the bus. Miraculously, the bus jumped and made it through. In real life, it's impossible. Bus wouldn't be able to make a leap like that, but that's a Hollywood movie. I consider that part of the magic of movies. Speed is an action film in its own category. The film is driven by a fast-paced energy, keeping us in suspense the entire time, and the joyful experience of being along for the ride non-stop, making us want to start over from the beginning when the end credits roll. Speed is a brilliant example of how to make a timeless action film. I watched this film 25 years ago, and still want to watch it again now.